All right, everyone, here we go. Good Wednesday to you. Thanks for joining us here. We're recording this live at 7:11 p.m. on your Wednesday. Some of you might see this video later in your Facebook feed or elsewhere. It's on multiple platforms, and if so, it may not be live for you. You can scrub through the video and find what you want, but we just want to get you ready for what's coming next, because behind the snow that we got today comes a lot of cold, and there is more snow in the forecast. Not done just yet, so it's a very wintry look for us, and we had a little bit in there today, so let's just get you ready for it all. So thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate that. And the snow that we got ended up being about 2 to 4 inches. I'll show you all the snow totals here in just a short little while, and what you got in your area or your general area, what we saw around the Kansas City metro and beyond, and we'll look at what's ahead. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in. First off, here's what you need to know, and that is, first off, the snow is done. We have no more snow on the way for us tonight, other than some patchy flurries. Here, let me stop this and restart it. Sometimes that gets it going. All right, we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way. So snow is done, and the roads are, the big roads, the main roads are good, the interstates and things like that. But it's the side roads, there's still a lot of spots out there that are hazardous, that haven't been hit as hard or hit at all by the plows. That's just going to take some time. So we're going to have some refreezing concern tonight, because it's going to get so cold that the salt is essentially not very effective, and we could have some, whatever may have melted today due to the salt having been effective, well, and then that could refreeze. So we'll have, not as bad as it was today, of course, but still some issues on the roads tomorrow that could slow us down. And then to complicate things, I'm thinking about parents here as we look to school. You've still got some mess out there. And on top of that, it's going to get really, really cold. I mean, wind chills here are going to be down well below zero. Will that play a role in more school cancellations? We will see how all that plays out. So let's start out with the radar. I just want to show you we do have some patchy flurries out there. It's not much. There's a little bit over there by Topeka, a little bit on the north side of KC. Let me zoom in on this. But all the accumulating stuff is long gone. So around Edgerton and up there by the airport, might see a little snow there. Over here by Topeka, west of Lawrence, got that little snow shower there. But that's it. So the main show is done. Here's what we got as far as snow totals. They ranged from, we had 5 inches north of Kansas City up by Rockport. That's way north, of course, as you run up I-29. But a lot of us in the 2-3 inch range. All right, officially at the airport, it went down as 2.2, KCK 2.6. Here's some other, let me get you some other totals here too. All right, Allendale 7. We had Maryville at 5.5. Lawrence, East Lawrence got up near 4 inches. Eudora 3.5. Lenexa 3.5. South Olathe 3.5. And then here's this one again. So out at MCI, KCI, whatever you prefer to call it, 2.2. A little bit less at about 1.5 inches in Warrensburg and Pleasant Hill. Excelsior Springs, you got about just under 3 inches. Ottawa about 3 inches. So it was on the lower end of the forecast range. We lowered our forecast yesterday. If you joined us yesterday, we had it down to 3 to 5. And we ended up kind of hovering near that 3 mark, or some, like at the airport officially, it's going to be actually less than that. So what happened? Well, there's 2 things. One is, let me show you the radar. As we had this main accumulating snow from about 3 o'clock in the morning until about 8. And then it was done accumulating. So the duration of accumulation was rather short. It still snowed as we went through the afternoon, but it's just really light and it didn't stack up a whole lot. But we anticipated that, which is the reason why I lowered my snow totals. But then something tricky happened, and I'll just show this to you. And that is the type of snowflake that developed. All right, so whenever you imagine a snowflake, you probably think of these things. These are what we call dendrites. And the computer forecasts were indicating that these would give us a boost to our snow totals, because these things stack up like cotton balls. They're fantastic for snow accumulation. It was a real light, fluffy snow. And, if you've got dendrites that are light and fluffy, these things they just kind of pile right up, and you end up with higher snow accumulations. But what we ended up doing was pulling in that cold air sooner that dried out the atmosphere, and it gave us this type of snowflake. Have you ever seen these? These are needles, and these are a meteorologist's nightmare because these things stack up like needles. They just don't stack up that well, and they can really knock your snow totals down. And that was a last-minute adjustment that the storm did as the cold air shot in sooner and gave us these fine little things. And that was what we saw really starting at about 7 o'clock in the morning. So now we're going to turn gears into what we are looking forward to tomorrow, and that is some brutal cold. I mean, our air temperature is at 3. That's going to be about sunrise on Thursday. You throw in a little bit of wind. It's not a terrible wind. It's only about 10 miles per hour, but it's going to feel like 5 below to 15 below from midnight to 9 a.m. All right, so that's the cold story, a broad overview. Now let's talk a little bit more about this rain and snow. All right, so tomorrow, first warned because of that cold. Then Saturday, we're watching your weekend. Have a highlight on that with a first warn for rain and snow. It's a mix, though it may accumulate. Sunday, here comes another shot of cold that could be even worse than what we get on Thursday. I got one more. Look at this, Thursday, another shot for snow with potential accumulation for it. Here's the chances. Tomorrow's dry. Tomorrow's going to be sunshine. We might start to see a little something even on Friday. All right, so chances there are 30% for KC. It's higher to the north. I'll show you that here in a second. And then we get into Saturday. We're expecting Saturday is going to bring something. It's going to, again, be a mix. Sunday's dry. So let's look at it on forecast radar. Start here on Friday. This is 1 o'clock on Friday. Fast-moving little compact system where it could bring Friday afternoon a little shot of what would be rain mixing with snow. More snow than rain, but we might have a mix in there. And it's in and out in no time. And it's mainly north of Kansas City. Much of these forecast radars have actually not had Kansas City in it. Some of the more recent stuff is extending down to us. So we've got to watch that, but watch this scoot on. There's 2, 3 o'clock. So it's in and out in no time, but you might see a little something on Friday. Now we get into Saturday. Look at Saturday morning here, 7, 8 o'clock. We've got rain, KC and south. You've got snow to the north. And then as we go throughout the day, watch about lunchtime, somewhere around noon, 1 o'clock. We should switch over to snow from what we can tell right now. And then it's going to be snow through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. And that's not necessarily light snow. It might end up being 5, 6 hours of moderate snowfall. So here's what we can say for now. So this is a mix, and these are always tricky because how much snow we get will depend on the timing of when we switch from the rain to the snow. So you're not just looking, if it's just a straight up snow forecast like we just had, it's snow the whole time. That helps. But whenever you throw in an extra variable of when do we time that out, well, that's going to make this one tricky. So we just want to keep you up to speed, be totally transparent with the way it looks. And the way it looks right now is by the time we switch over from rain to snow, looks like about an inch. A ½ inch to an inch and a half is the range at this point. That's not a forecast necessarily. That's just saying what it looks like at this moment. There is a scenario where if we switch over sooner and we end up with some moderate snowfall for, a good 7, 8 hours, we could be up to 3 inches. It could be similar to what we had today. It's all on that timing. So watch Saturday if you've got plans on Saturday. Right now, temperature, it's plenty cold out there now. We're at 13. Feels like 1 below 0 already. The next 12 hours into the night. Look at this. I mean, outside of a flurry, we're done. We're dry. But just temperatures falling on their face. We're down into the single digits by about 10 o'clock. And then even falling farther from there. We clear the skies out, but this is where we land by tomorrow morning. This is sunrise in our low temperatures. And we'll be about 3. That's a full 20 degrees colder than what's normal for our low temperature for this time of year. Some of us might even be below 0 up there by the Iowa border. And then again, here's your wind chill. And somewhere around 5, 10, maybe 15 below at sunrise. We don't get above 0 until about 10 o'clock in the morning. And your afternoon tomorrow, it's been a string of cold days, but tomorrow is a cold day too. Your afternoon high of 22 is colder than our normal low temperature, our low nighttime temperature, and that's what we'll have for a high. The thing about tomorrow, though, is by the afternoon, it's going to be a sunny day. The wind is going to be light. It's not all gloom and doom on Thursday. I just want you ready for that bitter cold start in the afternoon with that light breeze, and we dress for winter, and you've got sunshine and light winds. The afternoon won't be horrible. Here's your 7-day. A lot on this 7-day. So Friday, Valentine's Day, 39. Hey, I like that. But we've got that chance for a little rain-snow mix. And additionally, if I can get this to pop out, let's see if I can get that. You're going to want to see this. Bummer. I can't get that one to go. My computer's not working with me today. The thing on Friday is that we could see 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Friday is going to be a windy day on top of that little system coming through. And then Saturday, we've got the rain-snow mix. Sunday is 6 degrees in the morning, but with a 10 to 15-mile-per-hour wind. Sunday may actually be colder on the wind chills than what we have tomorrow. I'm looking at like 10 to 15, pretty widespread. Some of us could be 20 below on the wind chill on Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, your high is only 17. Here, let me get you the full 7 day. And then Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, not a single day in this forecast is even normal for a high temperature. Everything's colder than normal. A lot of these highs are colder than our normal lows. Look at these lows. 6 Sunday morning, 3 Monday morning, 8, 1 on Wednesday morning of next week. I mean, it's just smacking us with some winter. I want to show you Tuesday here. Let's see if I can pull this up. We'll try this one. Okay, here's Tuesday. This is what we're watching there. There's in the morning, and we see this little stripe of snow. Now, the system is targeting more south. We're on the northern edge of this. We hope it continues to go farther south and that we dodge this one. That might happen, but at this point, it's the track is that we are on the northern fringe of it, and here's what the computers are putting out for next Tuesday at this point. 1, 2, 3 inches, maybe 4 or 5 inches to the south. So Tuesday's another day that we got to keep an eye on. So snow on Saturday and on Tuesday, cold on Thursday and Sunday. It's kind of the main message here, with wind on Friday, and next week doesn't look great either. So a lot happening here. We've got a lot of weather to talk about after today and what we dealt with today. So hopefully that helps with your planning and what you've got going on in your life. And as you make your, we're all eyeballing the weekend now. So we'll keep you up to speed on that. Be watching Saturday. Thank you so much for joining. I've got updates for you coming up at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go check over the latest data that's going to come out here in about 40 minutes or so. That will be on your 10 o'clock newscast. In the meantime, again, thank you for joining us, and we always appreciate that. And have a wonderful night. Take care. Stay warm.